There's a quote from Rick Pitino that went a little viral. I saw it on my timeline yesterday from Adam Zagoria's reporting here, but Rick Pitino says that he would turn down a five-star recruit in today's era of college basketball. The exact quote from Rick Pitino is, quote, "You can't win with big, or excuse me, Jesus, you can't win big with high school kids." Then he goes on to just explain the state of the sport. It's not built for high school stars anymore. It's built for transfer portal guys. Uh, Duke's the best team we've seen in 25 years, built around almost entirely freshmen. Your thoughts on this, Dion?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm never going to disrespect Slick Rick. St. John's probably can't build around five-star guys. I think if he was speaking solely based upon his school, he's correct. But John Shire certainly doesn't have any issue with it. Um, Nate Oates certainly doesn't have any issue with it. Um, hey, this is kind of crazy, but like, let's be real. Tom Izzo kind of doesn't have any issue with it, right? Like, his team is kind of built on a previous recruiting class. Granted, they're not one and dones, but they were high level recruits too. Um, a little bit different than the other two's way of doing it, but kind of similar result, I would say. So, all these teams, I mean, Todd Pettiford's on Auburn. All these teams have some high level recruit that's thriving under them. Um, so I get it. Like, maybe St. John's can't, and maybe the way you have to build a team is through the transfer portal. The way Paint builds a team is through three-star recruits. There is no one formula to building successful teams. There's a lot of coaches that have shown different ways of doing it. But I would definitely wouldn't bash the freshman way of doing it, given every high-level team has a bunch of high-level recruits at one point on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just completely disagree with the premise that you can't win with freshmen. I think like there's a couple freshmen on the St. John's team that got to be like, why is he saying this? Right? Like now they're not exactly playing well, but I think you need a mix of both, right? There are teams that are entirely transfer built that are more volatile than teams that build from the high school level. I still think
Mhm.
some of the best teams in college basketball are getting high school players and developing them and growing them. Rick Pitino seems to want to just go all the way in on guys that you signed to a 1 year contract um, because that's what's working this year. But let's not forget last year, that's what didn't work. He brought in Jordan Dingle and Chris Ledlum, and those guys stunk, and St. John's really underperformed and ended up not making the NCAA tournament. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I just like he's pretty clearly wrong. I'm a little surprised he's like going so public with his take, unless he's just trying to like be the guy that owns only playing the portal and be a destination for future portal players.
I think, I mean, the way Patino has to do it is you get like lower level four-star guys. Maybe you sneak a five-star guy every few years. Um, you develop your players and then you fill with the transfer portal. That's the best way for him to do it at St. John's. I think he knows that. So it nothing Patino does isn't calculated. So I'm sure there's somebody he knows that's going to hit the portal this year. Maybe it's Owen Freeman, and he's like, I want that guy. So I'm going to get a head start by showing that I value the transfer portal over some of these other coaches that are going to spend all their NIL money on high school recruits. But Duke, by the way, also has Mason Gillis on the team. So it's not like Shire's opposed to the portal.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see where St. John's goes next. They hit the lottery on this year's portal class. I don't know if they will again and again and again.